the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we're here at Daytona as OP Racing Grand National Series brings you the WOW Video Tours 175 presented by Rick Seabrands. In the booth with me tonight is a very special guest, and that is Peter deBorja. And I promise we're going to get behind the scenes with Peter in this. But Pete, before all that goes on, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. We got a win a couple weeks back, so we're locked in. We're just here to have some fun and watch these guys put on a real good show tonight.
All right, well, qualifying is underway. Right now, the 47 of Richard Kuhn, who has been quietly putting together an outstanding run this season, trying to lay down a good qualifying time. Peter, have you noticed that this 47 has crept up into the championship 16?
Oh yeah, he's been crushing it on Mondays, but here he is on Wednesday nights, second leading point scorer of guys without a win yet this season, only 88 of Gabe Butler with more. He's got 4 guys between him and the cut line. He's in a pretty safe spot, 25 points above. Not as many points given out on Wednesdays with only the 1 stage break, so it's going to be hard to lose that many points, especially if we don't have 40 drivers tonight. It looks like we only have around 30 or so. So he finds himself in a good spot here with 3 races to go in the regular season.
That he does, but he's not the only one in a good spot. Several other drivers are looking very stout. Vicente Guerrero laying down his qualifying time, finding himself 15th in the running order. Mark Mann on top of the leaderboard. John McCara in the 71, making his way into turns 3 and 4 to try and round out his qualifying time. But Peter, we're getting ready for the national anthem, so one more time, who do you think is going to take the pole here tonight?
I mean, here you got to be weary of all the super fast guys who are your usual suspects, your 88, sometimes your 12, your 19, your 7, the 04, guys like that. They always seem to show up, but the win can favor somebody. We might not even know until after the anthem's over and we're finally hitting the grid.
All right, with that being said, 21 drivers have taken a qualifying time. We are going to step away for the national anthem. We'll be back with tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
Let me do. That's not true. That's not true. That is not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. According to Peter, it's not true. So what are we talking about, Pete? No? All right. Well, I guess we're not going to find out. We are getting ready to fire them off here tonight, so let's get right into our starting lineup for this one. On the inside of the front row, the 88 of Gabe Butler with a time of 52.029. The 95 of Jim Mayer to his outside. That will make up the front row here in this WoW Video Tours 175. Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33 on the inside of row 2 with the 04 of Mark Mann. Row number 3, Rick Sebrands in the 4 and the 38 of Duke Conrad. Row 4, Anthony English and Daniel Holloway. Row number 5 going to be Zach Workman and Josh Milo. Row 6 in the 12 will be Zach Fritsch and the 27 of Shawn Stevens. Row number 7, Eric Laurie and Les Levy. Then row number 8 will be the 77 of David Booth and Richard Kuhn. Row number 9 will be Andy Brigante and Nate Warren. Row 10, Harold Rothery and Jeff Crosby Sr. Row number 11, the 46 of David Overstreet and the 51 of Travis Elliott. John McCara and Vicente Guerrero make up row number 12. Row 13 will be none other than Michael Pratt and Ty Dallman coming back here into OP. David Livingston and Richard Sanchez for row 14. Row 15, Rob Connors and Andrew Schroeder. Lynn McNeese and Adam Kilday tucked in behind them in row 16. And that is our final row, 32 trucks here tonight. And Peter, 32 trucks. How many times are we going to say cars versus trucks?
Well, I'm going to say it a lot for sure. I'm pretty bad about that. I say it when I'm actually in the vehicle. So hopefully we don't tear up too many of them tonight here at Daytona as they head into the triangle under the lights, looking real good. Lead them away, KR.
All right, pace car down and away. Gabe Butler in the 88 with that pole position, takes the green flag. Jim Mayer, Mark Mann, and Jeff Crosby Jr. all going to try and wrestle this race lead away. Who's going to have the advantage coming into the corner and onto the backstretch? The 88 right now falling behind, but that 95 has the 04 just a bit behind him, and you can see that 33 got that good run, shoves Gabe Butler to the lead down the backstretch.
And that's great. As we mentioned before, leading into the broadcast here, Butler leading point score without a win this season. Bonus point to get the pole. Looking good to get the bonus point for leading the lap here early. Those 2 points might be the difference. He's already 49 up on the good, but we get a few extra winners in there, and then he could be in peril. So get these points while he can, but Jim Mayer and Mark Mann might have something else to say about that.
Coming to the line, it looked like maybe Gabe Butler leading the first lap there, but that one was very, very close to tell. Too close to tell. And so as our 32 trucks are making their way around this speedway, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our race info coming into tonight. Just 3 races remain, counting this one, in the regular season. As things stand right now, unless we get a new winner, 6 drivers will currently get in on points. Now we do have to talk a little bit about the deBorja dominance. This guy has won more stages 4 times over than anyone else. Don't worry, we'll be asking him about how he's done it because he's right here. We got 1 stage at halfway and 1 fast repair is available to our drivers here tonight. So Peter, let's talk about your stage dominance that you've been able to do.
Lots of luck. I think 3 of them ended because of a wreck. Like I didn't actually win it at the finish line, just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and a caution came out. Scored us a bunch of points early in the season. We were really worried about that. Then we were able to snag a win at ISS, and that punched our ticket. So we're not in the hunt for the regular season championship. I think that might be conceded to either the 04 or the 33 or whoever's gonna come out better for this race. But yeah, it's been pretty cool to be able to talk to you guys mid-race and win some stages. I trade all of them in for a Monday stage though, for sure.
Oh,
we got trouble here in the front stretch.
Already got some trucks sideways. So far, we stayed green. We were on board with Andrew Schroeder when that happened. The green flag stayed out for a while, and now the yellow has come out. Andrew Schroeder is torn up just a little bit. Adam Kilday has the fastest lap of the race right now, right before that yellow flag came out. So let's see what happened to our drivers here that brought this yellow flag out. Gonna have to back this up a little bit more where we were in the tri-oval.
Looks like it happened up there with the 9 and the 15 a bit. Maybe a little bit of a checkup there.
There was a checkup, and that is what got Andrew Schroeder into the wall. No one hit the wall but Schroeder, and he was trying to slow down because of what was going on in front of him.
That might be some playoff implications there too. The 9 and the 15 coming in just above the cut line. Nate Warren 15 points in the good. Jeff Crosby Sr. 7 points in the good there. Their approach might be a little different than some other drivers here. I think they might be concerned with scoring as many points as possible, and guys who are below the cut line might be saving their trucks for the end to try and win the race and get in that way. So that puts them behind the 8 ball if they caught a little bit of damage here before lap 5.
Yeah, just one fast repair is available, so you got to take care of your equipment. And unfortunately, Schroeder, not his fault, but he definitely paid the biggest price.
Yeah, I hate it for Andrew there. He always seems to find himself wrong place, wrong time in a lot of these races. Really, really good finish for him in a Saturday race a couple weeks ago. So hoping that luck turns around for him, because it always just seems to either catch him or catch a 17 car in our league. They just always happen to be right at the end of the checkup there and get the worst of it, even though it was none of their fault to begin with.
All right, so most of the field coming onto pit road. In fact,
the 88's taking 4 tires here, right? That's the most classic Gabe Butler move. There's no way he's just gassing. Oh my gosh, just fuel.
Did you see Josh Milam didn't even bother with his pit stop? He just came down pit road for nostalgia.
I think that's strategy. I do that strategy a lot too, KR. It's not about the leading the lap so much as that if, you know, whatever you're doing here might put you close on fuel, then if you know you were going to top off anyway, why take 2 gallons on this stop and 1 gallon on the next stop when you can just take 3 gallons on the second time by and come out in like 5th as opposed to 7th?
But he didn't even hit his pit stall. Why go down?
He's gonna
pit
pit it again. He's gonna pit. He was planning on topping off the whole time. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If he pits there from what, 8th or 9th place, and then everyone tops off again and he comes out 8th or 9th, here's a chance to leapfrog some people.
I'm just a lowly broadcaster. I don't know anything.
It definitely works well when the first stop doesn't require as much fuel. If like everyone here on this pit stop was taking like 5 gallons, then when everyone pitted again here, Josh would be taking like, 6 gallons when everyone else be taking 1. Then the number becomes very different. But when the delta's not that big, like we only had 2.5, 3 laps of green flag racing, it's only 1.5 gallon difference here. Let's see, he's coming in. Anyone else coming in? He might have just been planning on going to the back anyhow. So, yeah, plenty of reason to do that. He might have just not seen his sign, but Josh isn't here to race for stage points. Josh is here to win races, and you got to make sure you got a perfect car at the end, whether you're running in front or the back.
All right, well, he is into his pit stall finally. That does cycle the 88 back to the front. Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33. Going to restart on the outside of row number 1. Row number 2 for this restart, the 04 of Mark Mann and the 95 of Jim Mayer. Row number 3, that Yeti number 4 of Rick Seabrands, and to his outside, the 44 of Anthony English.
That's the guy I got my eye on, KR. The 44 winning that big race on Monday, punching his playoff ticket there. 13 points to the good right now on Wednesdays. looking okay. But some stage points here could leapfrog him ahead of the 9, get him caught up to the 47. So a lot of good things can happen here for Anthony tonight. Like you said, his week's already going pretty good with a Monday playoff ticket punched. But of all the drivers who are fighting for those last few playoff spots, he seems to be the only one in stage point contention right now. Now he's at the top side, so he's going to need some help to get to the bottom for the green flag pit stop they got coming up. But, you know, stranger things have happened.
Stranger things. All right. Stranger things have happened, like actually needing calculus outside of school.
No, I don't think anyone's actually needed that.
I was petitioned to ask you about using math past 8th grade or 8th grade math. Once you graduate out of school, when would you ever use that?
I mean, I use it every day at work.
Well,
I use 8th grade math every day. I've used it for 14 straight years.
maybe you should try 9th grade math next time.
I haven't been good enough to get moved up that far.
As the green flag comes out, we are working lap 8 of 70, 35 laps here in the first stage. Remember, it is at the completion of lap 35. So we will have one more pit stop before this is all said and done. And oh my goodness, the 33 just got T-boned into the wall.
Wow.
And it has caused chaos behind them. Shouldn't say he got T-boned it, but man, did he just take a hard right into the outside wall.
Oof, man. I had the radio muted right now, but I bet it is loud in race comms. That is, yeah.
Several other trucks getting caught up into this one. Let's back this up and see if we can figure out what happened. And it looks like it's just going to end up being a bump from the 95 to the 33 that just wasn't square enough. Here we go. Oh, the 04, the 88, and the 33 are the ones that make contact, not the 95. Then
Yeah.
Josh Milam probably couldn't see what was going on and gets into the back of the 33 hardcore.
Couldn't even make it half a lap about my prediction about Josh before I was wrong about it. Thought he was going to go into the back and keep care of his truck there, and then he gets mixed up in this.
All right, we'll go on board with Josh Milam. He's got the 15 ahead of him. Now the 00, and all of a sudden, there's the 33. Man,
Ooh, a motor, too.
that is a hard hit for the 7. And sometimes that, I mean, Peter, you drive on a regular basis, so you can kind of feel what has just happened to the 7.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got nothing but stinky tailpipes in front of him, and then all of a sudden he's got a stopped stinky tailpipe.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think it's probably, I mean, we'll have to go back and listen to some of these guys' streams later, but those guys run together on Mondays. I don't know if they're running together tonight. If I were the 7 car and I was running in that team chat, I would have probably appreciated a heads up from the 33 about where he was, but if they're not running together, then you're just trying to fly through traffic, you know, cars going everywhere, and then all of a sudden that's where the, you know, think about it when you're on the highway and like something falls out of a pickup truck or something, and you see all the cars in front like scatter all over the place. You just don't want to be the guy who can't see anything, and all of a sudden your eyes open and there's the lawn chair or the refrigerator or whatever fell out of the back, and that's just what that 33 car felt like to that 7 car at that moment. A lot of guys getting scraped up there, man. It's like I said, this playoff bubble is going to be interesting. There's so many people who are so close to it. It'll be interesting to see what guys decide to just kind of punt on this stage and go to the back and try and preserve a car. A couple guys that didn't make the race tonight too, that I thought would be definitely here, worried about that playoff spot. I don't see is the 82 here tonight. I don't see him. I don't see the 53. Those guys are just so close on points. So it sounds to me like they're going to use these last 2 races to go for wins instead.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our points. There you see the rundown. Peter deBorja sitting pretty with that 1 win already locked in. Good job, Peter.
Hey, thanks. Thanks to Dave Hunt for pushing me there, and thanks to Zach Fritz for not turning me, even though I know he really wanted to win instead. But we got him one a couple weeks later. It's fine.
But yeah, David Booth, David Hunt, Dan Harrington, Eric Laurie just on the outside looking in. Eric Laurie in the 071. He's looking like he might be a bit racy here tonight, so we'll see what he's got in store.
Wednesday series defending champion. That would be quite the story if he missed the playoffs. That would be absolutely shocking if that car didn't make the playoffs somehow here. So we'll see if he's able to get the points that he needs here, or maybe steal a win. I know that once that 88's locked in, they're focused on getting that 71 ticket punched as well. So we'll see about that. I know he's going to be watching where the 15 is all night.
Let's take a look at our drivers who are on a hot streak. Not looking good for the 071 Eric Laurie, as he is not in the top 5 in the point earners for the last 3 races. Zach Fritsch, Jeff Crosby Jr., Gabe Butler, Daniel Holloway, and Vicente Guerrero all have been tearing it up in these last few races and gobbling up all the points that they can. One way to get those points? Well, let's look at the stage wins. Everyone, you have a chance to win the stage. I have captured Peter DeBorja. I have put him in the booth. The stages are yours to win. This man has won 4 stages. Everyone else can't get more than 2.
Pretty good. I guess now that it's the last 3 races of the regular season, what? They can't catch me, I guess? They can tie me if the same person wins the next 3. That'd be an awesome story, too, to win 3 stages in a row for somebody. So, yeah, like I said, it's mostly luck on my part. The list of drivers up here are incredibly talented, too. But, yeah. What's up?
You luck into 1. You don't luck into 4.
I looked into at least 2, possibly 3. But you know what? That 08 one where I thought I had it won and I got turned by the 26 coming to the line, maybe that one should have counted as 1, so maybe we break even. All right, going back to green here.
Yeah, either way, the green flag is out. Then I do have to say hello, Miss Morrow. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. How are you doing? Your man, Markman, the 04 has been fast all night. That 04 has been up front. Qualified well, has been running well. I hate to say it, but once that 04 gets that bug in him, and he starts up front and he runs up front, he tends to finish up front. All right, as everyone gets up to speed with this restart.
I'm just saying, you say all these nice things about the 04, and then something bad happens to him. We're all going to know who to blame.
I know, that's why I kind of said I don't want to say it, but...
Yeah.
But this is what I've noticed. However, tough break for the 33 and the 7. They are already 1 lap down, and they had made that hard contact under this most recent yellow. So what's it going to take, Peter, for these guys to get back on the lead lap?
More cautions. I mean, we know we'll get one at or around lap 35, so they'll be fighting for that, but they're going to hope the green flag stop goes well for everybody, because one of these guys having a bad pit stop might put them right at the tail end of the lead lap, or first car 1 lap down, and then that might put the 33 or the 07 or 33 or the 7 in a real bad spot. So they're just going to be looking for a caution. They're probably taking care of their vehicles right now as best they can, but I don't think they're too worried about it either. Neither of those guys are good for sweating any kind of point situations, but they're here to help their teammates and try and get another guy's ticket punch. That might be the 15, that might be the 9, but they're all working towards a different goal now.
On board with the 33 at Jeff Crosby Jr. He is the first truck 1 lap down. He and Josh Milam are going to battle this out. And we're coming up on 20 laps to go in the stage, so we will have at least 1 more pit stop. So Peter, as this is shaping up, when do you want to try and hit pit road?
I think it probably depends on my point situation. If it doesn't matter at all, like I've got a win already, like you know, Zach Fritsch, Zach Workman, Mark Mann, Vicente Guerrero, Daniel Holloway, or I'm hitting pit road as soon as the window opens. Screw it. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can get lucky and find ourselves up at the front. If I'm a driver that is much closer on points, that might play a little bit differently. If I'm a Shawn Stevens, Anthony English, Nate Warren, Jeff Crosby Sr., just above the cut line, I think I go one lap later. I want to make sure I don't run out of fuel and forfeit all of my stage points, but I also don't want to fall off the pack and be in a bad spot there and not be able to take advantage. If I'm way back, like David Booth 67 points out, something like that, Jimmy Reynolds or somebody who's Glenn McNeese, somebody who's outside of the points but could still get in with the win, I'm running this dry. I'm not pitting with anybody else. I want my car to have 0 scratches on it at the start of stage 2. So I'll go out there, try and lead a lap after the whole field is pitted. And maybe when I exit the pits, I'm like 10 to 15 seconds behind the pack. I might avoid the wreck at the end of the stage.
Well, one driver who's made his pit stop very early and gotten off of pit road and back into the thick of it, that is the 8 of Michael Pratt. He has lost a lap in the process, and now we have 3 trucks, 1 lap down. All right, so using math to try and figure out how to time your pit stop, I see.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Travis Elliott can be included in that group as well. He's got a win already. Les Levy as well could also be included in that group. Go as early as you can. And Glenn McNeese pulling off to the back there, fading to the back of the line, trying to preserve this truck. He knows he needs a win if he wants to make these playoffs. He's not going to do it if his truck's all beat up. What I'm surprised to see is this 95 up here at the 14. They're not trying to get down and get ready for a pit stop at all. That's not typical to see the 95 up there just kind of by himself and just running laps. It looks like if we'd be getting ready for green flag stops, he'd have that 04, that 4 kind of getting Alliance Motorsport drivers down to the bottom. So maybe that door opens up here a little bit. Maybe they're just seeing what they got. But the 14, I mean, he can do whatever he wants to tonight. He's got a win already. If he wants to go for stage points, sure, cool. If he just wants to go for a win at the end of the race, that's fine too. I think he won the race the last race we broadcasted together. So that'll be a cool story to be able to interview him again. But looks like the 51 just getting clear of the 88 there.
Boy, Travis can really cut it, can he?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, give a shout out to Alan Fritch in YouTube chat as the 04 and the 95 get very close to each other. And then everyone else starts to say, hey, I can get close too. Listen, guys, if you want to snuggle, go snuggle behind the pit wall, but don't do it on the racetrack.
Check out that comeback story from that 48 right there. It feels like 10 minutes ago we were talking about how he got in the wall of not his own doing, a wreck happening in front of him. Here he is running inside the top 10, bottom lane, ready to pit whenever the leaders do. He finds himself in a pretty good spot right here.
Everybody likes a good comeback story like Kim Kardashian. Parks and Rec reference.
Gotcha.
Some of you will get it. Some of you will have to look it up. All right. Ooh.
Four Ricks. He's saved by the 4.
Man, I'll tell you,
that was going to be a big one.
There have been some hard shunts here tonight. Is there any particular reason that these trucks seem to be a little bit loose here tonight?
These trucks? No. I will say, well, maybe the 51. I will say that the thing that, no, not the 51. Now that I look at it, it's not. The one thing that I've noticed in these trucks a lot over the past few months that's been way more amplified before has been the pushing when it's a Toyota or a Ford trying to push a Chevy. It just seems that like the bumpers don't match up on the Silverado rear quite as well, and it's way harder to handle. But that doesn't seem to be the case at the front here. It looks like our first Toyota or Ford for a little while back there. So not seeing too much of that at the front, but great save by the 4 there nonetheless.
Well, a lot of trucks have made their way down to the inside line. That's a good indicator they are thinking about a pit stop. However, the 95 and the 14, they are still up in that 3rd lane. And now the 71 of Sean McCara trying to join them as he gains some momentum from that open 3rd lane.
this is when you might start seeing them here. We're about 15, 14 laps to go on the stage, and you got to go around for the pace lap afterwards as well. So you might start seeing guys drop off here. Daytona, they get a few extra laps compared to Talladega. No takers just yet. No one getting super duper greedy, but I'd expect the cars that are locked in or not worried about points to be the first ones to dive down. So that's like your 21, your 04 there. I expect the 27 to run it dry, though. Let's see. Oh, no, we got some contact.
And this is going to be huge for Michael Pratt. He was about to go a second lap down, and this yellow flag comes out. That is going to allow him to stay one lap down. Big, big, big for his race. However, the 95 of Jim Mayer, the 44 of Anthony English, Jeff Crosby Jr., Richard Kuhn. So many trucks involved in this one in turns 1 and 2.
That's heartbreak for the 44 there. I know he was really worried about getting stage points tonight coming in, where he's going to be at near the cutoff line. Was in a good spot there. Thought he was going to be set up for the good pit stop, but it looks like just a little bit of contact at the front, and everyone in the back had nowhere to go.
The 51 of Travis Elliott getting up and into the air.
I'm not certain if the 33 got caught up in that wreck or if he was just trying to avoid the stopped cars at the end, but either him or the 7 are getting the lucky dog more than likely. So that's going to be ones to watch there to see which one of those guys can get their lap back. Oh, the 15 getting a big look at that too. You know, he's worried about points. 48 able to sneak by there for the most part there. Got into the 15 a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Let's take another look at this one. 51 and the 4 make the first bit of contact. Travis Elliott goes from the top of the track to the bottom without touching the ground.
Props to that 9 truck too. He was in the thick of it. It all happened right in front of him, and he was able to stop. I know these things can be tricky sometimes when you don't have visibility, but that could be, you know, a playoff saving move right there for the 9 truck. He's going to be in a good spot here. Might be able to steal some stage points while his competitors are struggling, and that could be the difference between making it or not. I know he's close to the cut line.
All right, so on to pit road. Our race leaders come, and I expect to see almost everybody on the pit road because this will be the final stop for the stage. Gabe Butler in the 88 easily winning that race off of pit road.
Yeah, they don't even need to top off here necessarily with the size of their fuel tanks. They should be good to make it if they're saving enough fuel here under yellow. You might have drivers intentionally top off just because they want to go to the back and they're not interested in the stage points, and they just want to avoid the carnage like you just saw a second ago. So we'll see who decides to opt in for something like that, but I don't expect there to be any kind of crazy lifting or people worried about saving here at the end, as we're going to restart probably with 14 to go, 15 or 14 to go, 10 to go in the stage. I can math.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not on the clock.
Oh. All right. Okay. All right. So you can't use Google for this. I'm going to ask you a mathematical equation. I want to know if you know it.
Okay, I'll try.
All right. So I'm going to assume you know what the Pythagorean theorem is.
Yep.
Okay. What is Ohm's law?
I do not know Ohm's law.
Oh, I found a mathematical equation you don't know, and I did it in the first try.
Yeah, you got that one.
Okay.
I don't teach that one in 8th grade, or at least not at Mid-Atlantic Public School.
Maybe you should.
I don't get a lot of say power in that. I do what they tell me to do.
Okay. Well, let's just say one time you wanted to stick a fork in a light socket, you could use Ohm's law.
Oh, good. Thank God. I've died for something to try and mathematically replicate that scenario so I can stop doing that all the time and just doing it for experimentation. Good. Finally, something I could use in everyday life.
Well, basically all it is you'd just be figuring out how much resistance the fork gave from the voltage coming from the outlet and how many amps ended up going through your body.
I mean, in all actuality, one of my hobbies is working on old arcade machines, and that includes some old CRT monitors and stuff like that. So some electrical engineering background would certainly do me good if I had the attention span to watch some YouTube videos and teach that to myself.
Well, I understand. Hey, I'll tell you what though. It's not necessarily a mathematical equation that you'd have to teach to a kindergartner, but maybe a second grader.
Yeah. Hey, the 8th graders right now are doing some side splitting theorem and some what's the other one we're doing? Angle bisector theorem, and then some also what's the
Quadratic
right triangle
formula
ratios. They do that in 7th grade. The geometry kids I got this year.
Can you recite the quadratic formula?
Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
I'm going to say that's close enough for me.
Yeah, I didn't tell you where the parentheses open and close, but
yeah,
everyone knows where the discrete pieces are.
See, even Alan knows what Ohm's law is.
Well, his son's an electrician, so although he's got these he's got this weird extension cord he showed us that's just male on both ends that he uses to check Christmas lights, and I don't think that's very safe.
Hey, you'll find the short real quick.
Yeah, you know. Speaking of short, look how fast this top line is going with only 2 trucks right now. Are they going to get that dude Conrad truck clear the lead?
Sure.
Oh my
did.
gosh. Good for dude. He comes out here to OP once in a while, but absolute awesome guy. He is the CEO, the head honcho of Team Bootnaka Esports, which has been represented in OP Racing for a few seasons now. He hasn't raced Mondays himself, but he is the guy in charge of all that. He's got all the logo designs and whatnot and runs the Discord. So, yeah, that's my boss right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, this 8 of Dude Conrad shows up on Wednesday night, hasn't made it into a Monday premiere series, but on Wednesday nights, especially this season, I feel like every time he shows up, he is wrong place, wrong time, and can't get a good break.
Well, that's fine, because here we are leading. He's got enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage. He's got a great teammate pushing behind him. Good opportunity, so we'll see how Lady Luck decides to take it away from him this time.
Right? You can only lose them so many different ways.
Yeah. This 48 is thinking about how is he going to get by this 510. You see him peeking out there. I don't know if that's for temperature reasons or if he's trying to get the 71 to follow him. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen, though. Check out this 9 truck. He's up here. The 47 truck's up here. None of the other bubble guys. Those 71's just a little bit outside of the points right now. 77's only going to get like 1 stage point from this position. So just seeing how this stage shakes out and where it's going to put some of these drivers who are on the playoff bubble. The 9 is looking like he's got the most to gain. 47 is going to add a little bit to his lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 071 try something here.
Well, you're going to have to start doing something, especially if you're in the back and you need those stage points. You're quickly running out of laps to try and work your way forward. Peter, do you know about how many laps you need to go from the back to the front?
Here? Well, if a wreck happens, about 2/3 of a lap, apparently, because some of these guys we haven't seen all night. Now they're leading this thing. But, you know, probably 2 or 3 laps, depending on how many friends you got with you. You go to that 3rd lane and there's no challengers jumping out, and you got 2 teammates hooked up behind you, you can absolutely fly. But if it's like 3 wide in front of you and it's just a traffic jam, it could take you 100 laps. So it's just, you know, the way that it goes sometimes here. They're catching up on the 95. I think he's going to go to the wall. We'll see if everybody behind is fully aware of that and no one peeks out at the wrong time here, but it looks like they're going to get by cleanly. Gave the 510 a little bit of draft. He's running tonight with Dude Conrad and Gabe Butler, so I don't know if even if he clears, if he's going to want to go down. That might make the 48 a little bit upset. So keep an eye on that there, because the 48 is pushing the crap out of him, trying to get him clear. And if he gets clear and doesn't take it, I expect the 48 to make a 3rd lane start.
Well, Andrew Schroeder in that 48 has his truck wiggling a little bit. Looks like he's thinking about popping out, but just hasn't done it just yet.
I think he's just going to react to the trucks behind him. If that 3rd lane starts coming, it looks like he's been dying to go, but he doesn't want to go by himself. And the 71 seems content there right now. But But I can see the 71 trying to peek out and bring the 48 with him to allow the 9 to jump up because they are working together. If he wants to get the 9 into row 2 of this battle, but it looks like the 9 is quite content right here in the bottom as they're catching another playoff bubble guy. The 15 is Jeff Crosby Sr., and he's staying low. Are they going to be able to behave there around it? Oh, getting real close.
Oh, and contact! Around goes Rob Connors, and he spun down below the racing line. So we stayed green, but Rob Connors made contact in that situation. And because he was a single car spin down below the racing line, the caution flag did not come out.
We'll check back on the replay of that in a little moment, but that's just one of the dangers when a car is low. If you're not listening to your comms, sometimes you're just so close to the car in front of you, you just wake up and there's all of a sudden, just like we saw with the 7 and the 33 earlier, there's just a car right here in the racing line you weren't expecting, and that looks like it might have been what caught the 00 off guard there. But 15 wasn't quite all the way on the yellow either. It's just got a little bit narrow here at Daytona, not quite as wide as it is at Dega. They tried to make the most of it. Maybe a little net code too there, sent the 00 down into pit entry there.
All right, so final few laps here in the opening stage. Dude Conrad in the 8 looking to secure what could be his first and only stage win with the way things have been going for him. But what a good charge he would have to his momentum if he could pick up the stage win.
That'd be huge. Maybe perhaps first stage winner from Louisiana? Not quite sure. I don't know quite the geography of
Peter,
all
if
of
you
the
quit
OPS
hogging Liberty Fires, we might know something like that.
Yeah, well, just maybe.
He is our official statistician.
Okay, where is the stat on the geolocation of every OP driver?
Well, that's what you got to ask Liberty. I'd ask him,
we
but he
can't do
hangs
that,
out
but
with you,
you're
not
not here
me.
putting out data that says Les Levy Mr. lives in confidential. We can't really utilize that all that well.
Well, I mean, confidential is confidential.
Confidential Illinois, what a town.
All right. Real quick, before we get back to series, because we're almost to the end of the stage, Alan wants to know if you know what a NOx sensor measures.
No idea.
No idea. Well, once again,
Is it A-N-O-X?
No, NOx.
N-O-X.
It's a chemical.
Yeah, can we make
it's
something
chemical.
up? Oh, you're already telling me. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a chemical.
Okay.
So NOx
Nitrous
is
oxide?
nitrates of oxide.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Alan's trying to flex his diesel knowledge on you.
Oh, third lane thinking about it. The 47 thing, and where am I going to get some more points? He peeked out a little bit there. Thought the 12 might go with him, but then the 12 was going to jump back down, and the 47 got down. Is the 9 going to jump in front of the 510? I wouldn't advise that. I think he should just kind of hang out where he is. He's gonna get
I think
top
he's
5.
trapped where he's at.
Yeah, they almost got triple cleared there. I thought he was going to consider it. I think he's just happy with the top 5, get his 5 or 6 stage points, and cash out at the casino, so to speak.
Either way, the final lap here in the opening stage of this race. Dude Conrad right now shot out into no man's land. Is the 88 trying to set him up or trying to just push him? You'd think
Here
the
comes
88 would want to
47.
push him.
And look here, you got the lapped cars of the 00 and the 19 here. While they're 3 wide coming to the end of the stage. Are they going to catch them in time? That is a sketchy situation here. I am worried about the leaders.
They are going to catch these guys before the start-finish line. Here they come off of turn number 4. Lap cars drop down below the yellow line. Good heads-up move by them. And Dude Conrad in the 8 is going to get his first stage win of the season. And that means, Peter, you're going to win the most stages in the regular season.
Oh, wow. What an honor. Like a set of steak knives.
I mean, you're like you're like 2012 Red Bull. You go out, do one qualifying lap, and pull back in, and still have 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean that 2012, is that the year that Vettel at Abu Dhabi is just like bowing down to the car on the
I
backstretch, getting
believe
the
so.
championship trophy. So
I believe so.
I don't think my car's been that good. I just think Barney the flag waver has been pulling the yellow out at the exact instant I've needed to. But yeah,
Some
So-
could say they did that in F1.
yeah. Well, my yellow flag history at 20. I think 2012 was dominant enough. It's not a big deal. Look at all these guys slowing down for the pace car though.
They
Like
did
they've
that
never
caution
been in
flag.
the front of a stage before. They had no
That-
idea what to do. All right.
Well, the caution flag came out right as they crossed the start-finish line.
Oh yeah, but at
So the
Daytona,
pace car
FedEx is
wasn't-
after the start finish line.
Yeah,
so
the
that's
pace
why
car got
it's-
released.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah,
got
for sure. I mean, that's
released.
what happens. That will happen at Daytona more than it does at Dega and iRacing Superspeedway for sure.
Absolutely, you gotta be ready for it. Either way, Dude Conrad leads this field on the pit road.
All right, what do you think his pit stop's going to be? 2 tires, 4 tires, 0 tires? Is he going to stay at the front or does
I
he go to
think
the
at
back?
this point you take 4.
I
that's
mean,
my
I think
opinion.
I would too, but if you're Dude
He's won the
Conrad,
stage, you take 4 and you work your way back forward.
Yeah, but he's like loves to be on turn 3 Racing Network here with some wonderful accomplished hosts. He wants to stay in the spotlight. Maybe he takes just no tire. Looks like he took just some lefts there. Going to get out of pit road just before the 88. He's still going to be our leader.
All right, well, Peter, here we go. I'm going to let you talk to our stage winners to take it away.
Boss man, Dude Conrad, you got a copy?
What's going on, fella?
Hell yeah, man. A stage win in OP. How's it feel, dude?
Still feels rusty. I do appreciate them guys being patient with me. It's been a while since we ran it, up front. Trying to keep all the fenders on it so far.
Oh, for sure. Those last 10 laps were awesome to see. All you guys, you, the 510 and the 88 control the lines. But talk me through the last turn. Seeing those lap cars coming and where they were going to be, that had to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, they said they was going to be on the bottom. I just want to make sure gate was clear. If he wouldn't, I'd had to go high anyway just to miss him. But he got clear, and we sealed the deal there.
Well done, man. What's it going to take for you here to kind of stay up front, man? Is there big plans here to try to win this race? You guys going to try and get the 071 near the front? I know he's close on points. You and
Yeah.
the 88 not worried about that as much. What's the big picture thinking here?
Yeah, if we get a chance to get Eric up here, that's the plan. Other than that, just get some good luck on our shoulders and get to the finish.
Car looking real good, man. We haven't seen it look that clean for you in an OP race in a while, so it's glad to see Lady Luck
Yeah.
on your side for once here. Any shout outs, people you want to thank for the great job so far?
Just the team, man, and you guys for broadcasting.
We appreciate you, boss. We'll send you back down there. Wish all those guys good luck, and hope to be talking to you for a podium interview later, man.
All right, bud.
All right, that is Dude Conrad. And Peter, I have no idea where I pulled him from. I wasn't paying attention.
Look where Gabe, Eric, and Richard and them are. Just throw them back
Perfect. I will send them there. Thank you.
in there. Yep.
Gabe at
Team 8.
Team 8. That's all the way down the list.
Okay, fine. Don't send him there. I was just trying to be helpful.
That's too far. I can't do it. Too far. He's going to have to call a taxi. Call an Uber.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it'll be as fast as he was in the first stage.
Probably
Interesting to see if some guys took some different strategy here. Some guys taking 0 tires to get a couple extra spots. That 47 moved up a couple spots there. Harold Rotherty there in the 18. Up here staying in P5. A lot of guys who were just kind of short pitting. Look at Josh Milo back up the P6. Got the lucky dog in that last big one we had. And then here he is. Right here, 6th place. Brand new truck, obviously, after he hit the 33 that hard. But he came to win. So let's see if he's able to pull it off.
All right, here they go. Fields stacked up side by side, 2 by 2. Peter, sorry, didn't mean to use math there. I know you're not at work. Trying not to make you feel like you're at work anymore, but
No, it's okay.
2 by 2, that equals 4 in some situations.
There's a lot more than 4 trucks here. Why do we say that? It's not like there's only 2 rows that are 2 cars deep.
Right?
Shouldn't it be like 2 by 15 or something right
It should
now?
be. Honestly, I've always wondered why isn't it like 2 cubed or 2x2
Definitely not 2
to
cubed.
the 10th power.
Maybe when Travis Elliott was in the air earlier, it was 2 cubed, but not right now. It's all flat on the track.
Right? Yeah, you're good point there. Good point. Right now they're just using area, and
we are already 3 wide down the back here. See this?
46 jumped up there.
Yep, the 15 split in the middle. He says, point schmoints. I'm not worried about this bubble. I'm going for it.
62 of Les Levy got his nose into this as well.
A new paint scheme on that 46, is it not? I don't think I've seen it with that number font before. I know he was a little bummed out. He got a win earlier this season, which is obviously a great feat for David Overstreet, very popular driver here. But we were all very excited to see him get that win, but he'd already missed enough races that he wasn't going to be playoff eligible. So he's still out here putting on a good show. He's got the 77. He's going to be worried about trying to get him into the playoff. 53 didn't show up tonight, but 62 out here doing the same thing, just trying to go out here and win and help the 77 as best they can. And here they are with some good-looking trucks here at the end of stage 1.
Yeah, I can't. I've been looking at the 46. I'm not 100% sure on that paint scheme. I feel like I've seen that number font before and that Silverado logo on his truck, but it maybe has been a hot minute.
I mean, he was always a He Is Dead Jim kind of font guy, right? That like Gibbs-esque font. And then he's been running the more rounded Bush font that he's been running on his tilted tilt cars. And then this thing looks kind of Days of Thunderish almost with the way that swoops, almost like the Superflow car, how that 46 is angled a little bit. So either way, cool look for him. Glad to see him out here tonight, not give up on Wednesdays. They're out here just to help the 77 as best they can. And look who's coming back to the front. You're seeing him right now. 51 is like, you know what? I know it's my second truck. I know the other one's still stuck in the stratosphere. Give me this third lane. Let's go.
Well, Shawn Stevens is up there with that 27. Hey, by the way, this is the WOW Video Tours 175, purchased by Rick Seabrands to honor the 27 of Shawn Stevens.
Not quite sure if he led a lap earlier or not. It's usually a Shawn Stevens move to run the tank dry, but we were just a lap or two before those green flag stops started. He's another driver right near the playoff bubble that needs every point that he can. He just got his lap led, so I don't know if he's going to be super duper aggressive to lead that many more right now, but I think that was probably a big deal for him to get that lap led, get some bonus points here. He's got the 15 on him, who he's close to in points. He's got to keep an eye on that car. The 9, a couple spots back there too. The 47's up here as well. So 27 just trying to take care of business and put himself in a good spot for 2 weeks from now when our playoff cutoff happens.
You mentioned the 27 keeping an eye on the 15. Well, yeah, he's got to keep an eye on him. He's also got to keep him behind him because that 15 truck is 1 lap down.
Oh yeah. If that 15 truck gets back on a lead lap, you can bet that's the overall goal right now. Get them back on the lead lap so we can get as many positions as possible. I'm not sure if that happened because of a pit stop issue or a crash there, but a couple of cars who are still trying to get back on the lead lap here. 15, the 00, 44, 30. Oh, we have a wreck.
And they're all dead.
Goodness.
They're dead. Call the funeral.
Oh my gosh, look at the 33. Oh, he almost made it. 33 was trying to Days of Thunder his way through there and just found that 510 at the last second. Oh my goodness, a lot of carnage. We already know the 33's on his second truck too. Hated to see the 9 get mixed up in that. 15 as well, just a lot of guys in the bubble. Gonna be more of a who survived this thing, I guess.
And it doesn't look like the damage on the 33 is too bad. Regardless, you don't want to have any damage because it just makes your night harder.
Oh yeah, but for sure.
It does not look like it is too terrible.
Yeah, let's get back to the replay there and see what started that mess. That was quite the ride that some of those guys took there. It happened right near the front too.
I have been scrolling up trying to find this. I think maybe we're going to start here. On board with the 15. You see contact with he and Shawn Stevens.
And there he goes. And you heard the motor blow out of it too. Tough break for the 15. Right there on the points bubble. He's there battling with the 071. Just Didn't get the bump there right, and then sent the 27 now. It sent the 12 right back up at him there, right in front of the field. 9 mixed up in it, the 77 mixed up in it, the 84 mixed up, the 44. All these guys we were talking about earlier worried about keeping their trucks super clean, getting damaged early here in stage 2.
So some hard hits here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
33 was just worried about getting run over there. I think it was trying to thread the needle, but when the wreck happens like that, where it sends a car down and then back up, you lose all the visibility really. Because if you're on the top side and you've got a car in the middle lane, or you're maybe a little bit higher than the car in front of you, you don't see that car getting sent to the bottom. So you don't really know what's coming. And then all of a sudden, all the cars just start piling up and you don't even have an escape plan. At least the cars in the bottom can at least yank it to the grass and have a chance to get away. But if you're up top in a situation like that, you are completely trapped.
Dude, Peter,
yeah.
Mr. deBorja, sir, Mr. Math teacher.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to need you to do the math on how the 12 was involved in the crash and won the race off of pit road.
Probably took a fast repair, no tires. That'd be my guess. 7 was like, I'm going to take fuel and tires, or I'm going to go to the back here. And the 12 was like, fast repair, no tires. I just want to stay at the front. I'm not certain, but I certainly wouldn't want to imply any kind of shenanigans. That certainly isn't the case.
No,
But,
I don't think there were shenanigans. I'm just
no, I
impressed. He
understand
was
that.
involved in the crash
Right.
and wins the race off of pit road.
So he's involved in the crash, right? There's nothing wrong with. I'm not going to say anything here to detract from the 12 car at all, because he did everything he's supposed to do. But he is an admin in this series, and he has the best visibility of anyone that a crash is occurring. So he presses the caution button on his steering wheel as fast as possible, so that cars in the back don't run over the cars in front. But what's that do? It kind of freezes his position. So he probably didn't go down pit road that far behind the leader. Probably pretty darn close. So then when all he did is take a fast repair, he got out ahead of everybody else. Because that caution came out super duper quick.
I mean, the conspiracy theories
I don't
are
have a
getting
conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy theory.
That's not a. What's the conspiracy? That now he's down a fast repair? Oh, good. You can be leading the race on lap 44. If you're gonna do any kind of conspiracy stuff, there's got to be a better reward than leading the race right this second, right? And yeah, I don't know. I would have to go back and look at the file later to see if that was even a caution thrown by them. And there were so many cars sideways, it was probably just an iRacing caution. But usually that happens, a little bit of lag to it, so the guys who are involved don't necessarily get cycled to the front. But you absolutely can have that happen. It could certainly work out that way. And he's not the only car that got tore up in that wreck that's still at the front of this thing. Look at some of these guys. Look how shiny these cars are up here. You think that's because the pit crew just washed them off? That 71 just has a brand new truck, just looking nice and sparkly, as they took a hose to it and cleaned it. Or was there some other pit option? Was there a pit option? You think? Yeah, plenty of time to come out P4.
Yeah, plenty of time to come down pit road. Well, heck, half the field was in the crash and still
That's
sideways.
What I'm saying. It's not the 12 car that's the only one who took a fast repair and is at the front here. Look at all these clean cars in the front. They were all
I can't see a single car except for the one that's pulling onto pit road.
Oh. Is it going so slow like a Mustang would?
Right, the rest are trucks.
Ah, sorry, my bad. I told you I'd mess that up. I mess that up every time.
Hey, we're here to have fun.
Yeah. Well, look at them two super clean trucks on the bottom pushing each other there. Yeah, I think the 70s one took a fast repair as well.
Yeah, Josh Milam back on the lead lap. Speaking of lead lap, 21 trucks are on the lead lap. Richard Sanchez, Anthony English, Rob Connors, Jeff Crosby Jr., Andrew Schroeder, Michael Pratt, Shawn Stevens, Jeff Crosby Sr., Travis Elliott, Jim Mayer, and Vicente Guerrero all are off of the lead pace. And most of those cars I just mentioned, aka trucks, are behind the wall.
Yeah, they might be just calling it a night after something like that on a Wednesday race. A lot of those guys you named also locked into the playoffs or not really racing for points. I like what the 510 did there, though. He knew he was a lap down. He knows he's battling the 44. What did he do? He didn't top off on fuel. So he started on the outside line here in front of all the cars that did top off. Yeah, maybe it puts him at risk if there's some sort of fuel issue later. But here he is. He's now 1 spot ahead of the 44, currently in the lucky dog spot. We'll see if he probably just tries to run this dry. As the 44 fades back down to the bottom, he knows it's not really going to catch the 510. He's not going to be in a lucky dog spot for right now. I look for some of these lap cars to consider running this dry, just to try and catch a caution there to get their way back in the lead lap the old-fashioned way.
So right now, the 18 of Harold Rothery is trying to go after his first win here in OP. Rothery just joined Wednesday night this season, if memory serves me correct.
And had a P3 last time we were at this track. When you had a real clown in the broadcast booth with you. I don't want to call him out, but yeah, had a pretty crummy interview.
I mean, I'm always in the booth.
Well, yeah,
so
but
you're gonna have to be...
it was the other person with you.
Oh, okay. I wasn't the clown.
Nah. It was the driver of the 40 car or truck that was in here for that interview. Oh, a little bit drifted up there. 7 set to 12, a little bit high. At the exact same instant, at least the 71 and 18 were able to observe that and give them a little bit extra space.
Man, I'll tell you what.
And up there, 85 there as well. They're running the top 5 for the first time tonight, too.
There have been several close calls here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Just, look at the snow globe being shaken up, though. We already talked about the 18, and I just mentioned the 85 a second ago. 46 now way up here. The 13, Andy Brigante, running in 7th spot. And Zach Workman, who was a lap down earlier, going to the apron at the end of the stage, let guys raise here. He's running P9. So, also to see those guys there. Dude Conrad, our stage winner, who went to the back, now running 11th. Let's see where some of these guys end up. I know the 9, the 071, the 84, they're all worried about this playoff bubble. They're all lurking just outside the top 10, just trying to see where this race kind of unfolds. I'd rather be on the bottom right now than the top. I'd be looking to pit here probably around lap 56, 57-ish maybe. So we'll see who decides to short pit and sacrifice green-white checkered comfortability with track position. You make that pit stop earlier, it means you can put less fuel in the car, you're going to come out ahead of everybody else, but you're not going to be able to last the next stint as long. So it'd be interesting to see who decides to gamble that way. My money would be on drivers that are already locked in or drivers that are already locked out for the most part.
All right, we're looking on board with our stage winner. That is the 8 of Dude Conrad. He's got some work to do, but 19 laps to get it done. Finds himself in the middle of this field. Our race leader is the 12 of Zach Fritsch. And the 18 of Rothery still leading the outside lane. Sean McCara in the 71. Pushing on the 18. There's a lot of hungry drivers back in behind them. So as this race is shaped up, Peter, how do you feel, or shake your crystal ball and make it into a snow globe? How do you see this thing shaping up?
Oh, man. I think it really depends on who goes down pit road first. There's a plethora of drivers here whose finishing position, for all intents and purposes, doesn't really matter. And a lot of them are running together at the end of this train, the 04, the 4. Those guys, they know how to get around this place. They know how to win. They've done it plenty and plenty of times, more than anybody else in OP history. They may just get super duper greedy and say, let's pit on 54, pit on 55, screw it, whatever. Maybe there won't be a caution. Maybe it'll just run green. We'll get the best track position. That's all we need. You might have guys here at the front who are just like, look, I don't have a car that can win this race. My car's too damaged. I've already taken my fast repair. My only chance of hanging on here is going to be to pit when everybody else does. Or let me run it dry. Let me lead a lap. Maybe some carnage will happen to some other cars. Then I can pit and exit a little bit safer and not get that one last crash that puts me completely off the pace. So, I don't know. You got some teammates all hooked up together. You got the 12 and the 7 on the bottom. The 19 just got down. The 9's down there as well. They'll probably try to get the 71 down here soon enough. Their goal all night has been, how do we help the 9 and the 15? And the 15's had an awful night. I think he's already called it. He's 10 laps down. The 51's already called it too. He's 12 laps down. So I think they're all just focused on what can we do for the 9 car. And whatever he decides to do fuel-wise, I bet he's got a bunch of friends to go with him. I said car like 6 times there. That's okay. I think you know what that
It's
meant.
fine. Good news for you is I only passed high school math, so I lost count.
That's good.
I lost count.
Well, the 46, 62, 77 all running together tonight too. I think they got the 13 in there as well. They've got a lot of cars up here in the top 10. A lot of trucks up here in the top 10 too. So what they decide to do is could be interesting. They are typically a group that doesn't like to pit with everybody else. They like to run it dry, get some TV time, lead some laps, maybe try to avoid the pit road fiasco. But that usually happens earlier in the race. I don't know if late in the race they want to take that strategy. So all of those guys kind of had their playoff lives already decided for them up to the 77.
Oh, and the 18.
We got some contact with the front.
And Josh Milam, airborne. We go on board with Adam Kilday as he is still spinning. The 7 has landed all 4 tires on the ground. Somebody give that man a job at NASA.
That was quite the incident. We know the 7 was already on his second truck of the night. That might do it for him.
Yeah, he went straight back to pit lane. The pit road. Let's back this up. This is one that happens at the front of the field. The 18, the 71, the 12, and the 7 all going to come together here.
This looks like a bad bump there. Not quite sure what was going on. Some chatter on the radio from the 19 and 510. A little bit of contact there, but nothing too severe. I think they're okay. I don't know if the visibility was bad from the back of the pack and if there was a lot of people who were running into the wreck full speed, but 71 really working hard here. Just have the 3 trucks on the outside, everybody else in the bottom. He's pushing as hard as he can to the 18. They get a little bit separated here. 71 catches him, and it looks like a little bit of net code. The 18 was already going around.
See it, that truck stepped dead sideways like instantly with no one around him. Yeah. Tough break there, but man, that's part of iRacing, unfortunately.
We hate to see that to the 71. I know he's always trying to help people with the pushing and the trying to help people out there. That would certainly not be anything that he would do intentionally or get over aggressive with the bump. Maybe we mail him an Ethernet cable or something, because that's been happening a few times here lately, and you hate to be on the receiving end of that, but you feel even worse when you're on the giving end of that. You hate to ruin somebody's night for a little bit of contact that way, and that wasn't really obviously anything the 71 could have done, and certainly not the 18 could have done, but half a dozen trucks now really damaged from that incident. They gotta live the rest of the race as a result. So we're gonna see how pit road shakes out here. A lot of cars just taking gas only.
And Zach Pritch winning the race off of pit road. So want to do some housekeeping. 22 trucks are out on the track. Josh Milam in the 7 will go behind the wall, I suspect, here. He is currently scored in 23rd. We did have 32 trucks start the race here tonight. And so attrition has really taken its toll on our drivers. So Zach Pritch leads the race. It looks like 21 trucks on the lead lap. Rob Connor's going to be the only truck not on the lead lap if everyone gets rolling off of pit road. Anthony English on the lead lap, but sitting on pit lane.
You want the most boring, interesting little tidbit I can provide right now?
Anything from a math teacher.
About 13 laps ago was an obviously big crash, right? You saw Shawn Stevens, Andrew Schroeder, Michael Pratt, Jeff Crosby Sr., Jeff Crosby Jr. all called a night after that crash.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Crosby Sr. is still sitting on pit road.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he feels like he can win this race, but he knows if he gets all of that required damage fixed, he's now 14 laps down. He can pass 4 trucks here.
Sure can.
In like 1 or 2 laps of driving, he can go from 29th to 25th. I know that seems like, oh, big deal. But that's huge for a guy in the playoff bubble, right? If we don't get a new winner tonight, he's looking at that 071. He's like, I don't want that guy to gain too many points on me. And I know the 071 running there in 9th, and we heard Dude Conrad say that's their goal tonight, to get the 071 as many playoff points as possible here. But I like Senior's strategy here. He's just going to get this car fixed. Maybe it's super duper slow, but maybe we get enough green white checkers that he's able to pass not only these guys, but maybe the 510 who's called it a night as well. So, you know, maybe there's 10 or 11 laps left in this 15 truck to pick up another spot too.
Yeah, if he can do just one more lap, he gains 4 spots. Those points are huge. It's getting close. I mean, with 3 races left, 2 races after this one's all said and done,
you got to do it.
You got to get every point you can.
Table. Yeah. You can't quick disconnect earlier than you want. Like, the guys who are quick disconnecting here like this, they're just bailing out before the end of the race. They're either locked in already, or like I said before, possibly locked out. So the 14's already gone. He's got to win, though. The 51's got to win already. He doesn't care. The 33, he's won a race already. And the other guys aren't close on points. So you got to do what you're doing right now if you're the 15. Interesting choice by the 12 to take the top side here.
All right, well, he's chosen the outside lane. I'm not saying that's the wrong lane. I'm just saying I don't know if I could pick that. Also, I don't know if I could ever be out in front of OP. So I wouldn't have that choice.
Once upon a time, maybe.
Once upon a time, many seasons ago. But, well, that 46 said, thank you very much. I'll take full advantage of this. He gets around the 18 and the 12.
And jumps right down immediately. There's no more pit stops necessary. Oh, lined up correctly
Nate
on the bottom
Warren
there.
In trouble. We're staying green for the moment as Nate Warren has found himself now losing
Doesn't
the
look like
draft.
he's damaged. He's going to hope for a yellow here and just hopes he can stay on the lead lap, because that car is going to be at the end of the line. He knows where he's going to be at position-wise for a while. Hopefully some more cars get some carnage later and he can leapfrog them there. But that tough break for the 9, who's also on that playoff cutoff.
All right, let's see if we can figure out what happened to the 9 of Nate Warren. Taking a look as they make their way down the backstretch. Wow, he was wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, 50 of David Livingston just got turned there a little bit loose and headed straight for the door of the 9 truck. It looked like he avoided most damage, didn't hit the curb there on the bus stop, didn't hit the inside wall, so he just needs to stay on the lead lap as long as possible here. Just a bad bump there from the 13, sending the 50 down there into the 9, but it looks like they're okay now.
On board with the 12 of Zach Fritsch as he is coming to take 10 laps to go. He has this field in check for the moment. The 46 and the 62 teammates trying to form up against the 12 of Zach Fritsch. How is this going to play out with 10 laps to go?
Yeah, we'll see here. I'm just keeping an eye on that 9 car. He's 11 seconds off the lead. He should be able to stay on the lead lap for the most part. Even if he does go 1 lap down, he's only got to be ahead of the 00. So unless he's actually part of the reason for the caution next time around, the 9's going to be on the lead lap for the next restart. So he just needs a caution to help him out. Look at the 62 get that push.
Les Levy in that ham sandwich 62 had a good shove from the 88, but that 12 just seems to be locked in here in the last little bit. I still can't believe he was involved in a crash and still found a way to win the race off of pit road. That shows that he had a plan, he executed that plan, and now he's got some talent, some grit, and anything else he needs to try and stay out front.
How long till this second line starts to splinter, you think? We've seen 3 wide a little bit earlier this race. It was mostly guys who aren't here anymore, with the 33 and the 51 and the 7. But they can't just be content running there, right? Like, at some point in time, they're like, the 62 leading this line's got some damage. Me and a couple buddies can go up. And 21 of the 04 teammates, they're already locked into the playoffs with the win. Why are they just hanging out in the middle? There's got to be a point in time where they say, all right, let's go up top, see what we got, right? There's at some point in time, someone's going to be picking that third lane, and you want to be either at the front or second in line. That way, when you push a guy clear, you're leading.
We'll do it, Peter. We'll wait.
Yeah, we're going to have to. I mean, what else are we going to do? Can't hit fast forward on this thing. We're in the small percentage of people that like watching cars drive in circles, so we're not going to skip ahead anyway.
If I had a fast forward button and I knew what was going to happen next, I would have some illegal betting going on.
Gray Sports Almanac.
All right, well, Alan Fritsch, I can predict that Alan Fritsch is rooting for the 12 of Zach Fritsch.
Yeah, it's got to be better to root for the 12 than it is probably to root for like the Indianapolis Colts, right? Like at least the 12 wins once in a while.
Oh, ouch. I mean, I'm not even an Indianapolis fan, and I felt that from over here. Oh, well, luck just isn't on their side.
Yeah, not right now. Let's see though if it's going to be on the side of these guys up at the front, because they are pushing so hard. We don't want a bad bump. We don't want an unlucky netcode situation again. Luckily, the 71 and the 18 seem to have rebounded okay. They're here attached to it. Look who's lurking there. Look who's come from way in the back of the pack. I know he started near the front, but here he's coming up to help some Alliance teammates. That's that Yeti 4. Sixth car on the bottom. You think he's trapped? Nah, he's just where he wants to be here. He's going to find a spot to go help out the 04, the 21, or maybe even steal the win himself. He's found his way up to the front.
All right. We do have a few trucks at the back who are starting to feel the pressure that if they want to make something happen, they've got to make a move. We go on board with the 071 of Eric Lurie. You might be thinking he's got nowhere to go. Well, you're probably right, because 3 wide, that 85 making that move. Now Eric Lurie gonna try and jump up and join that third lane. The 85, the 8. Here we go. Who is it gonna be as we come to white flag?
I'd be nervous. The 21 and the 77 up there too. You got 5 cars and you're catching up on the 9 and 8 Warren. Here they are going to put him a lap down. He's got to stay attached as best he can. Rob Connors right at the very end of this line with Zach Workman in front, and Nate Warren does the gentleman move and moving to the bottom. But that puts Rob Connors into the lucky dog position because now he's not able to get attached to the pack here. So tough break for the 9. I don't know if I like this play if I'm the 071. I mean, I'm his Monday teammate, so I feel like I can talk a little bit more critically about the thought process here. But
yes, be critical. As the teacher, grade his race.
We just lapped the 9. We know that the 15 is down there in 29th spot, 22 laps down. Just get the points. Just take the 10th. Get down there in the bottom. Avoid the wreck here. You know it's going to happen. There's nowhere you can go. You think we're going to push 4 trucks clear on the top side? I don't think so. I think I would just rather be on the bottom, wait for the crash to try to avoid it, and take my top 15 and get out of here while my rivals I'm worried about are struggling. The 27 is already out of the race too. Like, the 53 didn't show up tonight, so I would just take my points and run if I was starting. And he's starting to get closer down to the bottom of the track too. I think he realizes that top lane's kind of a lost cause at this point.
Yeah, Shawn Stevens, Jeff Crosby Sr. out of this race. The 071 very easily going to leapfrog them. Nate Warren now 1 lap down. I mean, these are all trucks that are in front of the 071, and there's the crash.
And
Eric Lurie is going to get turned in it.
Oh my goodness. And he gets hit by Ty Dalvin afterwards too. Oh man.
But can he keep going? I mean, if he keeps going, but
we knew it was going to happen. We knew the 3 wide was going to happen. We knew that the net code or the turn was going to happen soon too. It was just, oh man, a lot of good trucks there getting caught up in that. I want to know what happened to the 00. Did he make it through clean? Because if he did, he's the lucky dog and he's back to lead. If not, he's going to go to the 9.
Nope,
that's really close to that 00. I don't know if you might have got a 0x there or not with that 71. Man, that was close. We'll see who gets waved around.
That we will. Let's take another look. Let's, in fact, go on board with the 00.
He touches a car at all and gets an incident point here. The Lucky Dog is over. You see the hood get a little bit of a crinkle there. That might be enough to block the Lucky Dog from him and give it to that 9 truck who just got lapped a lap ago, was on the apron, let everyone drive by. Oh my goodness, if that's going to be the difference between the 9 car finishing 22nd and the 9 car maybe stealing a top 10 as a result, that could be huge. There he is, all by himself. You know he didn't get an incident point. See if he gets awarded the wave around here.
It could have. I've seen worse things happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely walking it through here as safe as he can. And he sees that 071. He knows that's a points position he's worried about. So he's keeping an eye on that truck. Sees that the 071's in trouble too. So he is hoping that they're saying Lucky Dog Candidate at the top of his screen. And look who's driving by the pace car. There he goes, back on the lead lap. Playoff implications, KR.
So the 9 of Nate Warren gets the free pass. He gets back on the lead lap, and that is good for Nate Warren. He got knocked out, no caution when that happened to him, and kept it straight, kept it off the wall, just had lost the lead draft and fell behind because of that, and now has a shot to get back into this.
I don't know if he has a fast repair left or not. I think I could find that out. But if he does, would you take that here, or would you get the damage fixed?
If you got a fast repair left, why are you not using it with 3 laps to go?
Yeah, I guess you should just use it at this point.
If you don't have one and you just got the free pass, sit on pit road, get that damage fixed, peel out at the last second.
I think he has used it, because I'm looking at cars that I know use their fast repair, like the 7 and the 33, and that data reads the same. So yeah, he already did use his fast repair in that big wreck just after stage 2 started. So he had the hustle around this pace car, because he's got to get all this optional damage he can get fixed from his passenger door there that got just destroyed by the 50 when he got turned by the 13. So he's exiting pit road here, and hopefully
total Vegas move. Stay on pit road, fix all the damage, go a lap down, and wait for another green-white checkered attempt.
I thought the total Vegas move was to be damaged, but not take not even pit. Just roll with it. Be like, I know it's a free pit stop because I'm the Lucky Dog and I'm getting an end of line anyway, but I feel like this damage is better for my car than it would be if I don't trust my pit crew to do the actual improvements. They would only make it worse.
Man, I have been in some iRacing cars where I couldn't drive them until I smacked the wall.
I was afraid you were going to tell me you'd been in a sprint car or two where you didn't trust your pit crew to make any improvements to the car.
I have been the crew chief, so yeah, I don't trust myself. I have made too many calls where I'm like, we're doing this. I'm the driver, damn it, and I own the team. And they're like, okay, and I go backwards.
Yep.
Damn it.
I mean,
so yeah, no, I don't trust my pit crew.
Right, yeah. All right, 19 truck's gonna be still in the lead lap here. It looks like Ty Dowman does stay on the lead lap. Just exited pit road there as well. Nate Warren gonna restart 19th, 17th year. I'm not quite sure. A lot of cars topping off there at the end. He may have to let them by. Might get some passing in the yellow. Black flags cleared here in a second. 2 cars in front of him. Eric Laurie right there, playoff spot they're worried about. There's some spoilers at the front that could win and sneak their way into the playoffs here. Richard Coon's in a good spot already points-wise. He's not that worried, but how about that 84? Hasn't been near the front all night. Here he is, 11th. He goes up there and steals a win. That's a playoff ticket. Just gone. See if he's able to stake up there.
Green flag is out. We are in our first attempt at a green-white checkered. That should have been the checkered flag for this race in its scheduled distance, but we got to finish this one under green, or at least give it 2 attempts to. And,
oh my gosh, we're already in damage.
And
they're already checking
now the yellow's coming out,
including the 46 and the 47. Where did our playoff guys get through that? Here they go. There goes the 071. There goes the 9, sneaking on through. That happened right at the front. I don't know if it was a bad bump from the 12 and 62 or The 04 was pinching a little bit more than they expected, but that happened literally at the front of the field. Or at least that's where it started. They look like they got themselves straightened out, but as is the case, it's the cars 10 cars back who don't have the visual that end up piled up.
We had to back this up just a little bit.
It happens right at the front.
I gotta go a little bit further because I am seeing the 04 mark man. There we go.
There we go. All the way back here. Let's see what happens at the very front, where the pushes are happening, or maybe too much pinching. I'm not sure if it was a bad bump somewhere. Yeah, it looks like the 04s get sent down a little bit. I know he wasn't planning on going down that fast, but it startled all the cars nearby. They all lift, and the guys who can't see are the ones who are piling in. 44 sneaking on through there. Big points implications for him. I know he's in the same boat as the 9 was.
Take another look here, and the 04 and the 21. Yeah, it looks like just the 04 gets that back end a little bit tight, and then everyone overreacts or reacts, and chaos behind it.
It's react is the right word. It's not like you even have time to think. It happens so quickly in front of you that there's just nothing you can do. KR, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to do a couple crew chief interviews here, and I'm going to hop back up with some info.
All right, well, I'll be here waiting.
Yep.
All right, so while Peter is down there, I'd like to point out that Jeff Crosby Sr. has made no moves to come back into this race. He is at the 32-minute mark working on that truck. 32 minutes, 30 minutes is usually the most amount of time you can spend repairing damage, so looks like he is not intending on coming back out onto the speedway. With that being said, we have, wow. All right, so 23 trucks could rejoin the race. But Josh Milam has been on pit road for the last 20 minutes, so it looks like his night is done.
There is 23 though. About 30 seconds from now is what I heard from the crew chief of that 15. They are almost done the repairs.
Oh.
Gonna send him back out there to get those 4 spots. This green, white checkered saved them 4 points tonight, because had this race ended before they were able to get back out there and complete a lap, he'd be locked into that 29th spot.
I just thought 30 minutes was the max.
I mean, I don't know exactly if it is. I think I've seen more than 30, but even if it was, how do we know that was more than 30 minutes ago?
I have a pit timer.
Oh, you do? How long's it been on pit road?
33 minutes, 48, 49, 50
What if
seconds.
he 4 minutes of towing? Does that include that?
No, it's the moment. This timer is the moment he's in his pit stall.
Oh, so the towing starts the timer or doesn't start the timer?
Nope, this is the moment he's been in the pit stall. The tow, well, actually, the entire time he's been on pit lane and the entire time he's been on pit road, and he is down and away.
Here he goes.
But if you take a tow, you appear in your pit stall.
Yeah.
And my timer starts when you hit pit lane, and then when I have another one that is when you're in your pit stall. So
Gotcha.
They are almost one and the same.
Yeah. Well, he got out of pit road here just in time.
And he already gained spots.
He did that fast. He had one of the stalls that was behind the start finish line, so
Correct.
he got there right there in a hurry. And we'll see if he's able to complete a couple laps here in time. I don't think he's going to be able to get the 10 laps to catch that 5:10.
No,
sadly.
but
Not
he is
quite that
definitely
fast,
going to
but
get
yeah.
Jeff Crosby in the 33.
For sure. And the other good news is a couple more guys going out here in that incident. The 77, the 38, 71 calling it quits here. That just kind of caps how bad the night can go for the guys who are already on the lead lap, right? Like now you know if you're the 44, if you're the 9. By the way, the 9's in 5th place. The 071, like, who's in 6th place somehow. You know that you can't finish worse than 18th probably, right? Like, this is our overtime. We're going for it here. If it doesn't work out, like, you're getting a top 20 still. So you survive this long. You're up here near the end. You've got a reasonable baseline of points that you're going to get tonight, and you know about the guys you're battling and some of the miseries they've been in. So It's not like you're going to leave too many more points to the table by finishing 35th or something with the last lap crash. You're kind of locked into a top 20. So good to see that the 071, the 9, and the 44 are all restarting here in the top 10 on this green-white checkered with a chance to really lock in some big points.
All right, so Jeff Crosby Sr., before the green flag has even come out, has passed everyone he's going to pass here tonight.
Yeah, good for him. As I said, it's as they are catching the green flag here.
That is why you never give up.
I mean, that's my opinion. Part about this, right? Like, this wouldn't happen in an official race. This wouldn't happen in a random hosted race. We don't do this league stuff. I mean, we kind of do for our friends and whatnot, but I didn't know any of these guys before I joined OP. You do this because you get big picture simulation. You don't get that in regular officials or anything like that. You get a point standings, you get a playoffs, you get all these things to think about, teammates and stuff. Like, this stuff matters. So it's awesome to see that when these situations do arise, the guys still know what the smart thing to do is, because they don't have a lot of other iRacing training for this moment. So it's awesome to keep an eye on that, get those positions, do what you need to do, and hopefully now he's going to spot for his teammate here that's going to try and score some points as well, as the 12 is trying to get that third lane going.
All right, here they come. White flag, final time around.
Every single lane leader right now. The 71 and the 44 go to the apron. Huge playoff move for them. Every line leader right now already has a win this season. The 21's locked in, the 04's locked in, the 12's locked in. Let's see what the 88 decides to do. He wants some points as well. He's just glued to the back of this 21. Is he staying committed there? As the 12 is up there without too much help, but side drafting his way off some of those damaged trucks. Here comes the 46 as well. Another guy locked in with the win. Oh, the 21
contact with them. And around they go. The 12 of Zach French is going to linebacker through.
Holy cow. The 04. It looks like it's going to be the 12 that gets away with it.
Zach French did a full-on get out of my way. I don't got time for this. And he is going to come away with the race win.
Good job by him. He's had so much bad luck and so many of these things come down to the wire. And I know the last time he was in a truck like this at Daytona night was a real heartbreaking night for him to see his truck championship get taken away there by the 95 and 04 in the last turn on the last lap. I know this isn't getting a championship back to him, but man, getting a freebie like this has got to feel pretty good too. So good on Zach. And he was up front all night. This isn't the Mickey Mouse win. He earned every little bit of this one. Go back to that freeze train. There were a lot of guys going for the high jump record there. We missed it.
A ton of trucks.
Lots of altitude there.
A lot of altitude. I don't think anyone's going to beat Alex Green record.
I mean, we'd have to roll back iRacing code to even catch that.
Yeah.
That's not fair. We can't compare those. That's apples and oranges.
Well, I mean, it's like what they say. Well, it's a different era. Well, the record still stands.
Well, your Ohm's law gravity walls might have been different back then. Who knows?
Ooh, ouch.
Hey, but that, I will say, that was a crazy wreck for the win. The one that was the most noteworthy there was right as they caught the white flag. The 071 to 44 getting tangled up. You know that 44 still finished 8th? I mean, it was 12 seconds behind the leader, but he salvaged a great finish out of it. The 071 unable to finish. Scored 1 lap down in 17th. The 9 car, we were worried about his point situation, salvaged in 11th. He was 22nd, 1 lap down with about 5 laps to go of the scheduled race distance and brings home an 11th place. Huge deal there for him. Gabe Butler pretty much locking himself in with the P7 there and all those stage points earlier. And Richard Kuhn, just another top 5. As you said, he's just been great finishing position after great finishing position. Another top 5 tonight. Huge deal for him.
All right, well, Peter, let's get ready to kick off this post-race show. And I'm going to let you talk to our race winner. And that's I forget who that is.
That's fine.
Who won the race? Is it anyone important? Anyone I
just
should
pick
know?
anyone you want. We can interview them. It's fine.
Well, we're just going to pick a random person, unimportant person, somebody who we don't care about to interview that won the race.
Oh, we're actually picking the race winner? All right, I'll prepare for that.
Oh, we did? Oh.
Well, you're the one who moved them.
Hi guys.
Hello, Zach Fritsch, the driver of the number 12 Fritchie Budweiser Chevy Silverado. Do you have a copy?
I do.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great.
All right. Anyone you want to thank?
Man.
Thank you. That was Zach Fritsch of the 12. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
There tonight, man. Look, that finish. We don't see too many of those, or the one we do, it's usually not drivers like us who get to take advantage. What was it like just seeing your relatives say that the second car behind you was like 2 seconds back and there was nothing between you and the finish? How'd that feel?
Well, I tell you what, I didn't have to look left like I did 2 weeks ago on Monday.
For sure, man. That was... Wow, we all dream of being in that situation where it all kind of just unfolds and breaks out that way for you. But that wasn't, I mean, that's the first thing I said as soon as that happened. That wasn't quite a Mickey win. You were up front all night long. You were either pushing your teammate or pushing less there before, trying to find your way to the front. And your truck was kind of always in the frame when we were looking at the leaders. So obviously, it went to a deserving truck there, even if you weren't necessarily leading coming to the white. So great job on you there. But, what were you thinking there after that last lap wreck, or the last wreck before that, before we got the last green-white checkered? What did you think was a realistic finishing position for you?
Man, at least top 3. I was hoping to get an interview from one of you guys.
You thought that was a top 3? I didn't think I saw no help up there on the backstretch. I'm like, oh, there's.
I thought you were talking about like before the wreck. No, you were saying before the wreck of the green-white checkered.
I'm like, all right, what are we thinking here? What's really realistic for this 12 truck?
Even when I had to pit for fuel, yeah, I thought it was over. I was like, yeah, these guys. But then I was also yelling at the team, like, these guys are gonna run out. They have to. One of them has to run out. And so I seen somebody going up high throughout the 3rd lane, and I was like, you know what? That's probably the safest bet, to go up there just in case if they run out, they're gonna be wrecking down below or falling down to the bottom. So I went up there, and then David O gave me a nice little push. Unfortunately, got him a little sideways, hit the wall, and then next thing you know, the big one happens all right in front of me.
So the big one up there happened, you think, because someone ran out of fuel, or do you think that was just hard racing there at the end?
I was trying to ask to see what had happened, and it sounds, I got mixed things about somebody running out and somebody doing something, so.
Okay.
Not 100% sure.
Go back and check the tape on that, and I'm sure Sunoco hates to hear that their fuel just wasn't enough to get quite over the line, though. But great job tonight, man. I know your teammates had some struggles there, the 7 and the 33. Definitely not the nights they envisioned, but the 19 as well, falling a lap down a couple different times there, or the 9 getting dumped there at the end. And it just seemed like the 12 was the one who had the least amount of problems. Even the big wreck that he was in, he just came out of the pits leading the race anyway. So great job on you tonight there. Anyone you want to thank and shout outs you got?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys up in the booth. Thanks for Peter going up there. Hopefully you're giving live points, like you said you were, right?
I'm being real noisy about it, that's for sure.
Oh, I gotcha.
You wouldn't even think that the leaders mattered. All I cared about were the guys in the playoff cutoff race.
So, thank you guys up at the booth. Thanks for the sponsored race of Rick. That obviously to Honor Shawn, how many donations he's done to OP. Gotta thank Butt Kicker for sponsoring us. Thank our team that was with me and all of Team 3, or I would think it was in Team 3. Workman, senior and junior, and a bunch of people to name. And definitely just gotta thank my family and obviously my dad. That's looks like he was giving you hell on YouTube.
Oh, for sure.
So that was good. Yeah, thanks for everybody out to come out and race, all the drivers and everybody watching.
Great job, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Zach Fritsch, our race winner, picks up, I believe that's his 2nd one, and it is this season. So he becomes the 2nd repeat winner as he joins Jeff Crosby Jr. in that category. Now, Peter, we're going to move on to our 2nd place finisher, and that is the driver of the 04. That is Mark. Man, Mark, congratulations on 2nd place, man.
Thanks. Lucky to get it.
I don't know. I mean, I said you qualified up front. You're running up front. It's hard to keep him from up front, and here you are finishing 2nd.
Well, there was a lot of wrecking going on tonight, so there wasn't a whole lot I could do there at the end. Just hold on and try to keep it straight. And then I saw Zach go by me. That's pretty much how that worked. I saw cars below me as I was sideways, and then I looked to the right, I saw the wall, and then I got straight and I saw Zach go by. And that was it.
Well, either way, I'm just glad that the broadcaster curse didn't hit you tonight. Because
did you crack a brew, an adult beverage for me?
No, that's not broadcaster curse. But I did hype you up a little bit because I did say that 04 qualifies up front and he's running up front. You're not going to be able to remove him from up front. And here you are. So I was like, second place. He got it.
I'll take a podium, man. I'll take a podium. Definitely. What do we have? I think a couple more races until the playoffs. So I need a little bit of momentum. I have noticed that in my seasons, I usually start a season strong and then I disappear for the rest of the season. And then I show up for the playoffs and disappear for the first couple races and then race my tail off and then maybe make it to the round of 8 and then usually end up on that cutoff line for the round of 4. So I've got to be a lot more consistent. It's usually great or it's bad. So last night or Monday night I had a terrible race. Tonight was a lot better. Got into a couple incidents, but I'll take that. It wasn't a very clean race, so coming out of here even with a top 10 would have been great. But a podium's wonderful.
Mark, Peter DeBorja up here in the booth. So you think from a momentum standpoint, you think broadcasting the last 3 races of the regular season not the best move?
I don't know. You pretty much dominate the stages. So
yeah, man.
If you could just translate that to the end.
Oh, I'd trade them all for a Monday win. I do that in a heartbeat, man. Great job up front. I think that you guys at Alliance especially just always know how to race these things backwards, and your cars were never seemed to be at the front when the things really exploded up there, and it was just the right place at the right time. And here we were, second to last restart, and I'm like, hey, look, literally every single Alliance car is in the top 10 right now, huh? Who could have seen it coming? So don't sell yourself short that it was just a big wreck and you found yourself in second. That was a well-crafted race from start to finish by you guys.
Well, I appreciate that, and you have it right. Sometimes you have to run these races backwards to have any chance. But then that will kill you sometimes if it's a clean race, though. Then
how close were you guys on fuel? I know the 21 was up there, pretty cutting it close too. I'm not sure if someone ran out or what the deal was.
I don't think he ran out on the bottom. I think he just got loose, hit the apron, and then got wonked. And then, whoever was behind him didn't have really in that situation coming into turn 3. You don't really have time to react, so you just have to keep going, and it caused a big pileup. But I had 0.2 or 3. I would have been fine. I mean, I crossed the line fine.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to take too much of your time like we do on Saturday interviews here, but what an exciting last turn. We had a lot to talk about here, so I wanted to make sure that you got your story out there too. Anyone else you want to shout out and thank for your great finish tonight?
Yeah, thanks for my stickers, Peter. They're on my rig here. I appreciate
thank you for your wonderful donation for sure.
Yep, thanks to Extra Life and helping all the kiddos and the things that you do for them, Peter. We appreciate that, and the kids appreciate that. And thanks, KR, for you guys broadcasting tonight. Turn 3, man, pretty awesome. And Zach and those guys behind the scenes doing the admin duties, and my team at Alliance, and Maris probably watching or going to bed or something. She texted me, good race, good keeping it straight. And butt kicker for Shizzle, thanks to them.
Oh, for sure. Helping us put the show on and put out prizes for all the winners out there.
And Rick and Shawn Stevens.
Oh, yeah. Definitely big time for this league, and Shawn, obviously, with all the donations he's done. All right, well, that's thanks so much, Mark, and congratulations on your P2, dude.
Thanks, brother.
All right, there you have it. Mark Mann, our second place finisher. We would talk to Adam Kilday, but he had to get to another race and did not have time to talk to us, so our third place finisher has moved on. So, Peter, this one is in the books. Our night is done. Why don't you sign us off?
I was going to pretend to be Adam Kilday talking to you for a second, but
go ahead. I have no idea what he sounds like. But
well, that's why I was going to change my Discord name and pretend to be Adam Kilday, and then you wouldn't know the difference, and you just think that I went somewhere. But I was too slow. I didn't notice it until you did already. So,
dang.
well, but anyhow, as we sign out here, wow, what a race! Lots of cautions. That standing sheet that KR, I'm sure, is about to put up on the screen and read everybody's name off. You could see only 14 trucks finishing on the lead lap tonight. That is a sign of attrition for a race like this, for guys only getting one fast repair. Coming down to the end of the playoff cutoff and everybody having some sort of adversity there, whether it was last lap incident, whether it was getting laps down early, whether it was taking a fast repair too soon, that bubble just got tighter. And Zach Fritsch winning the race there is actually the best thing that could have happened to those guys, because that means that every single playoff spot's still available. They didn't punch somebody else's ticket or lock somebody else in. So they're all going to be thinking about what they could have done a little bit differently tonight to advance their position and put them in a better spot. But we got 2 races left. We're going to be going to Bumpy Daytona. We'll be going to Dega here. It'll be interesting to see what we're able to make happen these last couple races between the 071, the 9, the 27, the 15, the 47, the 44. They're all just all bunched together there, and someone's not going to make it. So we're hoping that hoping to get settled on the track here, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
All right, well, that'll do it for us, guys. So until Monday night, y'all stay safe. Have a good night.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.